Hey there guys, we're taking a look at 7 Days to Die running on the AMD Ryzen 5 5500U. Now, 7 Days to Die is currently running at 1080p with the lowest possible settings, but the dynamic resolution scaling is set to off. And the reason I just set it to off was just to see what the baseline performance would be without that. And as you can see, the performance is not great. We are getting some pretty decent averages that are, pretty decently above 30 FPS, but the 1% lows being in the 20 range is not great. And the frame time specifically, you will see that they spike up all the time. It is pretty much going to be a relatively inconsistent experience, and I mean, we're indoors right now. As soon as you go outside and start moving around, it can get pretty bad. You can see as we walk out of this building that the performance is going to be still relatively inconsistent. We are going to have those random lag spikes here and there. It's just not going to be a very playable experience, and we're still early on in the game. Once you start to get into the late game, things will start to tank dramatically. So we're already bordering on the edge of playability, and pretty much throwing anything more into this is going to end up leading you to have a very bad experience. Really, the only way to get a actual decent experience in the game was to set the game to 720p and enable the dynamic resolution scaling, and even then the 1% lows were just brutal. And I thought maybe the dynamic resolution scaling was what was causing the issues, because some games' implementation of dynamic resolution scaling can actually introduce some frame time stutter. So I was thinking like maybe that's what was happening here, but disabling it also did not do anything. And if anything, the 1% lows actually got worse because of the fact that now it couldn't drop down the resolution to try to salvage the FPS. So leaving it enabled to 30 FPS as the target was pretty much just what I did. The performance was still not great. Those 1% lows and frame times are really just the biggest issues here, and it just made the experience of playing the game just not great. For a game that's giving you an average of above 60, it's just not going to be a consistent experience. You're gonna have these huge fluctuations all over the place. It's going to make playing the game feel heavier than it really should. So I would say that this is really just not going to be playable on here, and I'm very disappointed to see that. And I don't expect this to do any better on the 1135 G7. They can't really do well on the Radeon with 25 watts of power. I don't think that the i5 is going to be able to handle this game, which is very unfortunate, but I'm going to have to test that out because this could be a driver issue, but I suspect that the performance is not going to be great on that. But anyways, I hope you found this video useful. If you did, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.